Welcome back to the channel, guys. We just reached 100 subscribers, so that's was a goal that I had to hit in February, and we hit it a little early, which is great. Our next goal is to hit 250 subscribers by the end of March. So today's topic is a lot about what Pokemon can teach you. So Pokemon investing isn't necessarily like a true form of investing, right? It's something that's considered like an alternate investment or like a risky investment. But if you look at like what Pokemon does, right? Pokemon teaches you the value of patience. You might be asking like how does it teach you patience? And it's quite simple actually. When you look at like a price of a product, right? Like you're gonna go on TCG, or you're gonna go on like eBay, or like some other like, app tracker, or like you can use like some of these new app trackers that the people have made, like the Collector or Shiny, and they're gonna tell you like what the market is today, and a lot of them will have like the history. Usually it shows anywhere from 3 to a year, 3 months to a year, and to really like show you what you're either missing or what's happened in the past. And like when you think about Pokemon investing, like you don't necessarily think of like a personal day or like a week. Like you think of like the long term, right? From existence of the product to whatever time it is. And when you look at the graph, it's not linear. It's not a straight line like from here to here. It'll go and then it'll have a reprint, or it'll go like this, or it'll flatline for a year and jump. And it's not, it's just random, right? And you're like, it's kind of hard to predict. I mean, obviously, if it was easy to predict, everyone would predict it, and then everyone would be multimillionaires, and no one would have to work, right? So, Pokemon has a little bit of randomness to it, right? Now, there are things that you can predict, like, oh, throughout time, this will get more expensive, or this product just sold in Pokemon Center, it's probably gonna go up, or oh, it just hit its 2 years, like it's probably not gonna get reprinted, and these things are all factors into how a product can perform, right? But what I think Pokemon really teaches people is patience. It rewards people who wait, right? And not necessarily wait as in buy, but wait as in like stay in the hobby and not to make irrational plays, right? Like if you buy, let's say you bought Paradox, right, at $95, about 6 months ago, it was at $95, and everyone was like, oh, it's at every distributor, it's everywhere, like it's gonna be 95 forever, or 95 for a long time. And in your mind, you might have looked at that product and been like, dude, this set's sick, like I love this set. And so let's say you bought it at $95, and for literally 3 months nothing happened, like you might didn't do anything, and everything else is moving, right? And a lot of people, they get frustrated. They're like, yo, like, my product's not moving, but everyone else's products moves. And then out of nowhere, like all the $95 sale boxes just disappear from the market, and now it's $120. And so now you're getting a little excited, and some of you might be tempted to sell, right? Like, oh, like this product has been holding on for like 3 to 6 months, like it just now moved to 120, like it's gonna take forever for it to move again. But now fast forward, we are 6 months fast forward, it is 165. Like it's done 70% in 6 months, and that's because you've waited. And that's just like, that's just because you waited. If you would have sold at 120, you would have missed out on $40 gains per box that you had, times however many boxes you had. Pokemon is really about like holding out more than others, right? So let's take another example, a little bit older, right? Lost Origin. Okay, Lost Origin. Lost Origin, when I got into the hobby, was $160. And then the reprint happened in late 2023. Lost Origin went down to $120. And I personally bought a case of ETBs of Lost Origin for $28 a piece, so $280 for the case. And at the time, I was still ripping, so I actually did rip that. Obviously, like, wish I didn't, because now it's worth like $700-800. But the boxes were $120. They went from $160 to $120 because of the reprint. We are a year and a half removed from the reprint. End of 2023 to start of 2025, it's about a year and a half. They are now about $400. So all the people who bought at 120, they could have sold it at 200. They could have sold it at 220. Right when it popped off. Like, oh, like move gains elsewhere, or just saved it the whole time, and now it's $400. And there's no like shame in selling whenever it like goes up, but it's like, if you sell too early, you'll never know what you're gonna miss, right? Evolutions. When I got in the hobby, it was $800. For about a year and a half since I've been in, it said $800, didn't move up, didn't move down. And in the last like 2 months, it is now $1,500. And you might be just wondering, like how do older products gain it, or why would you put money into older products? I'm not necessarily saying that you should have bought Evolutions. I'm not saying you should have bought Lost Origin, but those are examples and showing you how you just need to have patience. And it teaches you that when you don't know when you don't know what you need to do, the best thing to do is nothing at all. That's the best advice I can give to you, especially in the Pokemon hobby, and not only Pokemon, like markets too. Like if you see your portfolio lose 5% in one day, like you're in the S&P and it loses 5%, would you sell then? Like, oh, it's gonna go down more? Like, you just have to hold on to your money, hold on to your assets, let them grow. If you believe in your asset class and you believe in what you've invested in, hold the long run. I'm gonna give you one more example. Cosmic Eclipse. When I first got into the hobby, Cosmic Eclipse was $800. Sat there for a while. Eventually went to $1,000 and then stood still. $1,000. A lot of people were like, okay, let's say you bought $120. Let's say you bought $200, and you want to sell $1,000. You're making good profit. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, you're making good profit. Or you've held, and now the cheapest sale, or the last sale and the cheapest pricing I've seen is about $1,600 per box. It's pretty good at $700 times however many boxes you have. And these are just examples of like why you don't necessarily need to sell something right when it doubles. Like your Silver Tempest right now, let's say you bought $100, it's $250 right now. You could sell, make 1.5 times profit within like 2 years. It's really good. Or you just hold on. What happens in 2 years? Where does it go? $500? $600? I don't know. I can't tell you where it's gonna go, but it's one of those things where like making a split-second decision in your day can cost you like gains in the future. So especially with your products that you have now, right? You're staying on them, and maybe you bought them and then maybe they're down. Maybe they're down. You know, maybe they're down, or maybe they're up, you know, 40%, 50% in a month, right? You're like, that's crazy. If you don't need the money, don't sell it. That's the biggest advice I can give to you. Just because you never know what the future has in store for you. You never know when a product's gonna move. No one does. And when they move fast. They move from $700 in Evolving Skies booster box to $1,400 in a month. No one could have predicted that. I mean, people can say, yeah, like it's a good box, it's gonna go up, but no one can predict if 2x in a month. So that's all I got for you guys. Peace out.